All right, hey, what's up guys? It's Peter Alessandria from peteralessandriaphotography.com. So this is a little video. I've gotten a lot of questions recently from people wanting to know the difference between the acrylic prints and the metal prints. And so this little video to help make that distinction for you. What we're looking at here is the acrylic print. This is actually a photo of the New Croton Dam from Croton on the Hudson in Westchester County, New York. This dam is actually part of the New York City water system, and there's a whole collection of these photos on my website. So this is an acrylic print. I just want to say off the bat, you can't go wrong with either the metal or the acrylics. They're both very kind of cool, new, stylish, I'll use the word hip, ways of displaying your photos. The big difference is the acrylic that we're looking at right now, and I'm going to do a close-up in a second, is actually mounted on the back of a clear piece of acrylic, lucite type acrylic substrate or whatever they call it. It's about 1/8 of an inch thick, and it creates almost a three-dimensional effect, and it's also creates a glossy finish. So it really makes the colors pop, the contrast pop. It really brings the image to life. Now, hopefully you can see this. I'll move it a little bit in a second, but this is a side view, and you can see it. It's actually a piece of acrylic, and the image is mounted behind the acrylic. This is the back. You can see the mount, and I'm going to show you a picture of what this looks like on the wall in a second. But the mount is actually a floating mount. So it will stand off from your wall, maybe an inch or so, and it will look kind of seamless, like it's just floating there. It's actually a really cool effect. All right, and now I'm just going to do a little close-up so you could see the depth of the detail that comes, the color. As I said, it's really quite spectacular. Now, the only thing to be aware of with the acrylic and with the metal that has the glossy finish as opposed to the matte finish, which I'll discuss in a minute, is it will pick up some reflections. So you want to be careful where you mount this in your home. Anybody who's bought a big screen TV lately, you know the challenges of having like a big picture window opposite the TV. You'll get some glare and whatnot. But other than that, this is a great solution. And as I said, it really kind of brings the image to life. I love these. Okay, so now what we're looking at is a metal print. This particular photo is part of my collection from the Stamford, Connecticut pier that I did last, it was in 2013 in the fall. This is actually a municipal fishing pier on the Long Island Sound in Stamford, Connecticut. And again, these photos, there's a whole collection of these photos that you can see on my website. So this is a metal print. Now this is a matte finish, which means it's not the shiny glossy finish that you can also get on the metal prints. I don't have any metal prints with the glossy finish here, but it is very similar to the acrylic finish that we just looked at. So here's a side view. Hopefully you can see how thin this is. It's actually a sheet of aluminum, and the photo is printed directly on the metal itself. You can see the mount in the back. It is that similar floating mount that you see on the acrylic. I pulled this out and haven't looked at it in a while, and hopefully you could see it on camera here. These little specks, I thought this was dust, and I couldn't get it off. And I realize now these were the stars that were out that night. So we actually were able to pick up the stars in the sky. And another interesting side note, that orange glow that you see right there, it is not the setting sun. That is actually light pollution from Manhattan. This city of Stamford, Connecticut is about 40 miles north of New York City. And so I was able to kind of capitalize on artificial sunset, I guess. All right, so I realized that I had another couple of metal prints that I could show you guys, just to give you an idea of how really beautiful. The metal prints, the acrylic prints, how they render the colors, the contrasts, the texture and whatnot of the actual photograph. So this is actually an image that I took in my backyard. It's a macro, what's known as macro photography. Many people wonder what this is, and I will tell you it is a spider's web that has a couple of water drops in it. It was after a morning, kind of a cool spring morning when there was a lot of dew in the air. You can see the water drops there. There's, looks like there's 5 or 6. Anyway, I think it's kind of cool. It's a little abstract. Really leaves a question in the mind of the viewer what they're looking at. And, you know, that's the beauty of art. It has different meaning for different people. Okay, and here's the other one I wanted to show you guys. This is actually a photo that was taken up in Branchville, New Jersey at the Stokes State Forest in New Jersey. This particular scene was shot at what was the site of a very old mill. I think it might have been a logging mill, maybe 100 years old. You can see the foundation at the top of the image of the mill. It was built out of stones. My friend Sarah, who's a fellow photographer, she brought me to this place. It's really kind of hidden away in the woods. We had to do a little bit of hiking to get up there. And it was just a really spectacular location. I do have a whole collection of these photos on my website. It's the Stokes, S-T-O-K-E-S, forest collection on the website. You could see a whole bunch of the photos. So again, another example of how the photos just kind of come to life on the metal. And check it out. As I said, I have some on my website, other photos from this series. They are available either metal, acrylic, or regular paper prints. All right, so I almost forgot. I said I was going to show you guys how these look mounted on the wall. So this is a photo of my lovely niece, Brooke. We shot this last summer. She was about 7 years old, one of my favorite models, and I love her to death. And so this is one of the metal prints. It's mounted on the wall, as I said, and this is a matte finish. It's not the glossy finish. Again, the difference is the glossy finish will have a little bit more contrast, a little bit more saturation in the colors. This is a little more subtle. So this is what it looks like on the wall. I'm going to do a close-up in a second of the side so you can see it's floating probably about 3/4 of an inch, maybe an inch off the wall. Just creates a very clean, kind of organic look. All right, so here it is from the side. You can see, I'll zoom in a little bit if I can. You know, you can see it creates a little separation there. Just kind of floats off the wall. It's very cool. As I said, kind of organic, clean, modern, contemporary kind of look.